There were a bunch of moments in the first general election debate that really made my jaw hit the floor. Here's one of them. The topic is masks. And you're just going to see how ridiculous the current moment is. I don't think this is something that ever would have happened under previous administrations, Democratic or Republican. But with Trump, you never know what you're going to get. Take a look.
Trump, you have begun to increasingly question the effectiveness of masks as a disease preventer. And in fact, recently you have cited the issue of waiters touching their masks and touching plates. Are you questioning
No, I think
the
masks
efficacy
are okay.
of
You have
masks?
to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test, and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to, but I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will say this.
Vice President Biden, go ahead, sir.
Look, the way to open businesses is give them the wherewithal to be able to open. We provided money. The Congress.
But I was asking you, sir, about masks.
Well, masks make a big difference. His own head of the CDC said if we just wore masks between now, everybody wore masks in social distance between now and January, we'd probably save up to 100,000 lives. It matters.
And they've also said the opposite. They've also said the opposite.
No serious person said the opposite.
Like, that really is just amazing to me. I'm perpetually shocked by this, and I've covered it multiple times on the show, but like, you're the president of the United States of America, and he always waffles on masks in the middle of a pandemic where 200,000 Americans have died. And again, the best example of how well this works is the Japan example, where they did limited shutdowns. They had some economic shutdowns, but early on, only 1,000 people died. When we had 50, 60, 70, 80,000 people dead, they had 1,000 people who died in Japan because they have basically universal masks. Of course masks work. If you spread COVID mostly through the droplets when you cough, if you wear a mask, the droplets don't get out, so people don't get sick. I know, because I live in New York, the epicenter of the outbreak early on in the U.S., the second we started having universal masks where everybody wore it, our numbers plummeted. But he waffles on masks as if this isn't like life or death consequences, and as if he doesn't look like the biggest idiot in the world when he does this. I mean, this is right up there with like denying evolution and denying climate change. Yes, the science is settled. By the way, he goes on to bring up Dr. Fauci and said, hey, many people say the opposite, that masks don't work, like Dr. Fauci. The problem was Dr. Fauci was lying. He was lying because we feared a mask shortage for frontline workers. So he said, masks don't work, to try to stop people from buying masks so that our frontline workers would be protected. The scandal there is that he lied. But Trump brings it up as if like it's a reasonable counter opinion. No, what you just described is the reason why people struggle to believe a lot of the experts now is because somebody like Dr. Fauci lied early on. That's unacceptable. But the scandal is that he lied and masks work. It's not like, nah, some people say this, some people say that. You know, it is what it is. What are you going to do? It's typical, like, and I know these kinds of people because I'm immersed in it. This is like a typical New York bullshitter. You know, I talk to a lot of people, and some people say that maybe masks are a good thing and masks help a lot. And I got some other people who say, hey, I wore a mask and I got sick. And maybe it is the mask that kept me sick. And what am I supposed to do with that? You hear all these different things. You don't know what to believe. And for me, when I'm out there, I think it's easier if I don't have a mask on. Like, no, you stop trying to override empirical reality and science with like bravado and flippant anecdotes. Like, you're the president of the United States. On this, there's no comparison. Biden is just like an adult, and Trump is like a toddler. Even the pot shot of like, this guy wears a mask at any time. People are 1,000 yards away. He's got the mask on. What a loser! Oh, you're the loser. The line that got me was at the very end when he was like, some people say the opposite. Yeah, total morons say the opposite. People on your Facebook feed and blurry memes made by MAGA Chick 69 say the opposite. These people don't know about science. They don't know about masks. How have masks become political? I mean, come on. Jesus Christ, man. You can't do that as president. You just can't do that. But anyway, I really think most people watch that and they're like, come on. Like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Don't do your stupid little Trump thing that you always do. Like, I'll say both things at once and I'll like try to appeal to the dumbest people. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is a pandemic, man. Imagine, I always bring this point up, but imagine if from the very beginning Trump was 100% pro-mask. Because, by the way, a lot of people say he's a germaphobe. I don't know if that's true, but if it is true, then yeah, there was a chance that early on he could have been like, yeah, I'm super pro-mask, and he could sell his Trump masks, and, you know, we would have had so many fewer deaths. But he didn't do that. And now, just the other day, there was a Republican official trying to do the Trump mask thing, but it was too late. The ship had already sailed because this guy's been Trump has been undermining masks for such a long time and waffling for such a long time. And now there's a whole movement on the right of like masks are fake news or whatever. Oh, it's tough to watch. It really is tough to watch. Anyway, I truly believe that even other presidents, and I would argue overall, George W. Bush was a worse president than Donald Trump, for sure. The death count is way higher under Bush than it is under Trump. But I do think that on this issue, even Bush would have been better than Trump. Even Bush would have been like, yeah, wear a mask. What are you, an idiot?